Hi, the purpose of this tutorial is to look into how to write a systematic literature review. Now, I know that lots of writers, and please excuse my background, I'm trying to record this as the last thing of the day, and I've been working straight since 9 o'clock. So the two things I want to cover today. First is to clearly explain the difference between a normal literature review and a systematic literature review. Now, many students, when they have their assignments given, they don't know the difference. What is a literature review and what is a systematic literature review? So the first question that each writer, before they book any assignment or before they accept any assignment, what they need to know is, do I need to produce a literature review or a systematic literature review? This is the first question, okay? Okay, so the first question that you need to have answered is, do I need to write a literature review or do I need to write a systematic literature review? Those are two different things. Usually when students write small assignments at level 3, 4, foundation year or first year of university, sometimes level 5, the chances are they will be writing a box standard literature review. So the first example of example 1 will be what I call normal literature review. A normal literature review talks about what has been published about a given topic anywhere. Okay, that means books, that means journals, EBSCO, which is an online library, EBSCO, Google Scholar, etc. Right? The format, so let me go to one of the topics that we currently work on. Let me open it. Bear with me. I should have opened it in the first place. Right. So the topic that you may be working on, or you may be asked to write a literature review, a normal literature review, will be behavior patterns causing the prevalence of obesity among 65 plus in the Caribbean community. The question that you need to answer is, what are the behavior patterns causing the prevalence of obesity among 65 plus? Now, in order to answer this, in order to answer the question, if you are asked to write a normal literature review, you will take the further steps. First of all, have the topic approved by university tutor and complete the form if needed. Your next step is do your search, Google Scholar. Please do not go and do not use Google as per se. This is your plan B. Go on Google Scholar, go on academic databases. I will actually attach here a list of academic databases that you can, a website with a list of academic databases that you can go onto and choose. You can search different databases. Bear with me. I'm looking for the list, but bear with me. Sorry. Okay, I can't find it, but I will find it. I will add it there. So, first of all, you have the topic approved by a university tutor and you need to complete the form if needed. If not, you get on with it and you do your search. You check Google Scholar, other academic databases, and as a third step, you need to generate 3 to 4 themes that reoccur among the published articles. Okay, so it can be you went on Google Scholar, you did do some reading. This is a training question, okay? So you need to go on an or let's say you went on Google Scholar, you found there, I will take this one. I will go on to an academic database. Okay, type this, right? Oops. Hopefully you can see the same thing what I can see. Maybe not, bear with me. Okay. So I'm going on Google Scholar, right? I'm on Google Scholar, or I'm going on Google Scholar. I'm pasting the question. Obviously, you need to always think, what will I include? How long back will I look? So I don't know. I don't want any patents or citations. You know that box standard practice is that you need to filter the articles which are no older than 10 years. We are at the beginning of 2021, so you can still go to 2010 till 2021, search, and you have 15,800 articles, okay? So you will start to look and start to generate topics. How do you generate topics? You look, obesity, global epidemiology, pathogenesis. Is this relevant? We don't know. You need to open and check. Accept all cookies. Right. Is it relevant? Yes or no? If it is, paste the link into your document, which is a preparation document before you start to write. Now, going on Google Scholar, it is not a realistic expectation that you will actually go over 15,800 articles. If the database has, let's say, these many searches, you can discuss in the actual work that one of your mitigating factors of the full research, if you don't have time, obviously, writing dissertation is a whole different story. You should have enough time, but 15,000 articles is way too many. So you can go through first 10 pages and you can start to look as for what is published. So the next article, rising prevalence of obesity, part A, impact on public health. Check it, see, is this relevant to Caribbean community, yes or not? If it is, let's pretend it is. I can take it, I am going back to our practice document, and I'm starting prepare. So how do you generate these topics is like this. Bear with me. I'm sorry for being quiet. Oh, this is no. Right. Okay. Now, how you start to generate topics is you start to paste the links and make a note. So this article was about the rising prevalence, and this will start to give you idea. So if you think this is relevant, paste it. This is your preparatory document. So the chances are by the time you finish, you will have few articles. So you need to generate 3-4 themes that occur among published articles. So this is one theme, for example, theme 1. Oh, pardon me. Need to go back. Sorry. So this is your first theme. Theme 1. The key thing will be obesity in the UK in general. And you have there some info about a Caribbean community. Okay, your theme number 2 could be, let me check the articles. Association breakfast. I'm back checking the database. Cancer statistic, global patterns of excess body weight. Perhaps we can look into something like this. Sometimes you may not have access to everything, but these are global patterns. So global patterns of obesity, right? But if you choose to go with this one because you found like 2, 3, 5, 10 articles with similar linking topic, we also need to remember that our key question is, what are the behavior patterns causing prevalence of obesity among elderly in the Caribbean community? So these are your key points. So these are global patterns of obesity, Caribbean community mentioned. Okay, and then you can generate theme number 3, whatever it is. Okay, this is how you operate when you create normal normal literature review. Okay, we are talking about example 1, normal literature review, not a systematic literature review, right? So you generate themes and then identify. So your step number 4, your step number 4 will be identify gaps in literature. Step number 4, step number 5, try to answer the question. If enough word count, propose solution to what needs to be researched. Please note, I am not explaining, not in a dash, too much about obesity and patterns of obesity. I'm strictly focusing on what has been published about the topic. No matter whether anyone is writing a literature review or systematic literature review, the question is not to write about obesity in a Caribbean community, but to write about what has been published about this topic, right? Now, this is really in a nutshell. And then, of course, you write conclusion. So, in other words, this will be an essay. Now, let's move on to example number 2, which is a systematic literature review. In order to complete systematic literature review, this is a whole different ballgame. Let's go with just the same topic, right? Let's go with the same topic. However, on this occasion, the writer needs to approach the work in more systematic manner. So, for example, we are going to take the same question, which is behavior patterns causing prevalence of obesity, and the question will be, what are the patterns? Okay, so we take just the same topic and the question, what do you do first? You need to understand that you need to know key terminology. In order to get by, you need to understand the key terminology. Key terminology. The first key terminology is Pico. What is Pico? Pico is, let me give you an example. It's an evidence-based, it's a frame, it's a framework which helps to generate a research question, and from there, further, you need to generate search words for your databases. What do I mean by that? So, let me open Pico for you, and let me paste it here. So, I'm sorry. My apologies. I'm trying to fish for something, but I always thought I know where it is. Now I can't find it. So, when a person wants to write a Pico, this is an example of Pico which I'm pasting here. Pico serves to generate a research question and key search words for academic databases. Example of Pico. This is a whole different topic, obviously. Please note, this is from a different topic. This is from my own dissertation. So the writer can go and check. Now, there are some cases when Pico is not applicable. You need to use alternative frameworks. Okay? If you cannot use Pico, I'm dropping you here a link in the document. If Pico is not acceptable, there are other frameworks such as Picos or Spider, which you are able to use. There is also Pico. Again, I'm dropping the two links so the writer can go and double check this. So these are alternatives to Pico, Pico, Spider, whatever fits in order to generate research question and come up with, look here, you have a Pico because for the question which I was using, it just did fit. And when you look at your question, what is the population? P stands for population, is a Caribbean community. Intervention means that's what we need to find, okay? What you need is a comparison. That means mainstream population, and outcome is the weight loss. Pico could be applicable. You could, in terms of this research question, you can even use the spider as a means of justifying how you develop the question. So this is the first term which writer must know in order to write a systematic literature review. Okay, here is an example. This is a key Pico components, the keywords generated. There are alternative search words, and then the writer has to explain every single part of the Pico. Okay, the next keyword words that a writer needs to be familiar with is a Prisma diagram, is Prisma diagram. Okay, so Prisma diagram. What is Prisma diagram? Prisma diagram works in order to generate a systematic approach to literature review. And if you don't use Prisma Diagram in a systematic literature review, the assignment will fail. So Prisma is also called a Prisma methodology. Right? Now, Prisma is an evidence-based minimum set of items of reporting in systematic literature review. Here, attached is a link to Prisma Diagram, and every writer can go and use this link. Okay. The Pico Prisma, so a Pico framework, Prisma diagram must be created by writer. You cannot go to any website and take it from somewhere else. It simply cannot happen. Now, let me drop you here. On that website, where I left you the link, when you open it on the right hand side, what you need to find is a Prisma flow diagram, and this is the diagram which a writer has to complete. The diagram will be talking about what has been published about the topic, where you start to answer, but you will be talking in numbers. What I mean by that is, let me give you again example. Okay, Prisma flow diagram. And this is how it's going to look like. Hold on. Oh, messed up a little bit. I need to make a space here. Prisma diagram usually takes one A4 page, by the way. Okay, so Prisma diagram. So when you take a topic, what you need to do, this is a completed Prisma diagram. It's a Word document. You need to look into different databases, which I will explain in a moment, right? But can you see you are writing about all your searches, just like we went on Google Scholar, and we found there 15,800 articles. You need to really talk about how many articles you found, what were the keywords. Then you look into additional records, for example, through other sources, if any. Then you need to look at both databases and decide, okay, this is how many articles are in the first one. This is how many articles are in the second one. Some of them are duplicates. So after removing duplicates, this is how many articles you have. The point for the reason why we're using this Prisma diagram or flowchart is that we're using systematic approach, and Prisma diagram is an evidence of a systematic research. If you don't use it, the assignment will fail. So the first term which you need to be familiar with, and I'm giving you an example, is the Pico framework. If Pico is not applicable, look the two links and check whether Pico or Spider may be more suitable. In any case, after you put together a table, be it Pico, Spider, you need to generate main keywords which will fit the Pico, or Spider, and alternative key search words. And then you need to prepare an explanation of it. All this explanation will end up being part of the word count when you paste it into the actual dissertation, right? Prisma diagram evidences your systematic approach to search. What is really important is that before you start to complete your search, you need to decide on inclusion and exclusion criteria. I'll get there later. So Pico, Prisma, and the last term which the writer needs to be familiar with is CASP table. And CASP table works as an organizer for themes and analysis of articles. What do I mean by that? Again, I'm going to paste you there an example so you can go so let's pretend you generated a topic, themes, what we discussed here. So when you get as far as generating themes from your Prisma and the articles, you will start to organize. Sorry. You will start to organize the themes, which are, I need to make this way smaller for you guys. So this is an example of a completed work. Okay. Right. So organizer of themes. So first there was some explanation. You can ignore this one. These are the themes which came as a result of using systematical approach from the Prisma diagram and checking the two databases and getting the articles. This was the dignity in care. The topic that was used was dignity in care. So this is a Science Direct and PubMed, and I chose some example articles, but the topics that were big themes that were reoccurring were the 3 themes, and then under them there were actually sub-themes within that category. So this was all organized, and for each theme you need to produce what is called a CASP table. CASP table will not be part of your 10,000 word count. This will end up at the end in your attachment as an appendix. However, all this explanation as offered here, when you do it, it will end up being part of your word count at 10,000 words. So, systematic literature review, in other words, requires students take the 3 steps. First of all, and I'm pasting it here, okay, where is the article, where is the test document that we're using? So how to then approach is steps to write systematic literature review. Okay, first of all, which is I think quite obvious, sorry, I need to change this. Okay. Okay. Something's wrong. Let me change the settings. Yeah, whatever. So the first step, have a topic approved by university tutor and proposal form or forms completed. Once you're done, this is what you need to do. First of all, so this is your step number one. Step number one. This is your step number two. So the writer has to write a systematic literature review in the following steps. Have a topic approved by university tutor and proposal forms completed. Then you have step number two, which will be you have to choose which two databases for dissertation, 3 databases that you will be systematically searching. You cannot just go on Google. You need to go on Google Scholar, Science Direct. Please check these 2 links. I left them there to give you a list of academic databases that you may choose from. Step number 3 is once you choose which databases you want to search, you start to search those data. You need to decide on inclusion and exclusion criteria. Now, for the purpose of this example, which I'm sharing with you, hold on, need to find where it is. Aha. For the purpose of this exercise, I looked into, this was the topic, okay, the impact of immigration on the UK economy. I know I'm using different topics, but it's really to give a writer a flavor of really what steps need to be taken. So first, have a topic approved. Let's pretend the topic was improved, the impact of immigration on the UK economy. If you go with the Caribbean behavior, so you had it approved, right? Choose the databases, decide, this is super important, inclusion and exclusion criteria. What it means is you need to know what articles you will be looking at, because realistically from 15,000 articles, even if you take first 100 to check on Google Scholar, is still a lot, and you need to know which ones you will be looking into and which ones you will not be looking into, and exclusion criteria. Then, based on Pico, you will by then have your key search words, and then you start to make search on those databases. So for the purpose of the topic of the impact of immigration on the UK economy, on Science Direct database using Brexit and UK economy and impact in correlation with Boolean operators, I did find 71 searches, and then I went through first page, and you need to start to make notes and paste the links. So the first, first a relevant article, second, third, and then I started to organize them in themes, okay? Once you're done with, this is the step number 4. What? Systematic, which is the actual systematic research review search, okay? Okay, systematic literature review search, and you need to look at the first page. So you need to start to organize articles based on Prisma flowchart, you know. So you will be looking at how many articles you have in total, how many are on the other database. Okay, so take the first database, but database number 1 on this occasion is Science Direct, and you will start to organize, you will start to generate themes. Right? So what has been published? This is the first page, few relevant articles. When you look, I put in brackets what it is all about. So in theory, what is connecting in each article? There are 4 articles focusing on small businesses, small enterprises. One talks about UK economy in general, and one is about finance. So I've generated 3 themes. So after you generate the themes, only after you generate the themes, okay, here you go. This is the part, okay, right. The writer needs to carry out a systematic academic literature review, Prisma flowchart. You will complete that one. If you need it, it's here. Sorry. Right, the link is there. Right, then your next step is the findings from the research need to be tidied up into the topics, which you did already. Okay, we did this one. From that, you already have formulate possible research question or reconfirm what you asked at the beginning, right? And then you have another step, which will be step number 1, 2, 3, 4. This is your step number 5. Okay, take articles and start to organize them into a CASP table. This is in preparation because your final product for the dissertation, 10,000 words about Caribbean or any other topic, will look as follows. So this is your final product. So can you see, once you take all these steps, only step number, hold on. Hold on. My apologies. I think I've confused myself here, unnecessary. Right, okay. So your step number 6, I hope we're looking at the same document. Your step number 6 will be the actual writing of the dissertation. Don't know whether this is clear, but hopefully it helps. I know this is not perfect, but hopefully this clears what you need to do and how to write dissertation when it is a systematic literature review. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'm going to save this